అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. సర్వేభ్య శుభోదయం. Today is the 14th day of yoga classes by CSR Prabhu garu. This is part of a certificate course on Sanaatana Dharma. Let us start with Vande Mataram by CC Babu garu. CC Babu garu, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajyosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram.
Dhanyavadah. Thank you. Let us start with yoga now. Yes, sir. Prabhu garu, please.
Okay, we will do some revision of our previous topics. We will do the Sukshma Dharma in standing position. Once again, we stopped long back. We finished everything in the first week and then we stopped. We'll redo today the Sukshma Dharma. So I expect you all start with Sukshma Dharma first and then do asanas, then do pranayam, then meditation. Cleaning the throat with air. Vishuddha Chakra Shuddhi. In Prarthana, press this and concentrate on our gurus. Press Buddhi Dharma check Vikasa. Bend the head back, concentrate on the back of the head and repeat the same breathing. Smarana Shakti Vikasa. Here. Veda Shakti Vikasa. Close your eyes. Press the book. Netta Shakti Vikasa. Eye exercise. Keep your finger near the eyes and lift. Without closing the eyes, go to the top and close the eyes and count. Times. And Kapolak Shakti Vikasa for the teeth and cheeks. Karna Shakti Vikasak for the years. Viva Shakti Vikasak. Number 1. Left and right. Viva Shakti number 2. Apply. Number 3, rotation. Number 4, pull up the neck upwards, bending forward, breathing in and without it, like a cock or hen. Next, shoulders, Bahu Mula Shakti, Skandha Tadha Bahu Mula Shakti Vikas. For hands, Purna Vajavara Shakti. Shaking hands. Who's hanging? Mute your mics. Please mute your mics. Loose hands. Anguli Moola Shakti Vikas. My fingertips becoming heavy. Pull as if you are pulling a big weight towards. It's good for heart. Please mute your mics. Hello, somebody. Mute your mic. Vakshasthara Shakti Vikasa. Udara Shakti Vikasa. Kulattirekam Gunatha. This is Molabandha and standing. 4 inches apart. One foot apart. Both rectum and bladder should be pulled upwards. These are very good for preventing prostatic Turn to the left. Turn to the center. Turn to the right. Turn to the center. Deep breathing. Please mute your mics. Mute your mics. Please, somebody mute your mic. Hello. Who is that? Mute your mics. All Muktasana. Breathe out when you practice. I wanted to show to all of you, this is called Nangot. This is compulsory for all males to be worn while doing all yoga exercises and postures. Put on Padmasana. We do Bhastrika Pranayam. Bhastrika means bellows. The stomach should go up and down. When breathing, then with breathing, it should come forward and bring up. Normally, people are doing the opposite. When they breathe in, the stomach will go inside. Now here it is the opposite. Correct procedure is the opposite. When you breathe out, it should go inside. When you breathe in, it should come out. Anyway, so I told you that you should drink one glass of salt water. It is warm today morning. Did you drink, all of you? Assuming that you have drank one glass of water, salt, now I will do 4 Krishna asanas. First is Sarpasanam, which is lying down and then getting up on the hands. Urdhva-hastasanam. Then to the left and right, breathing out and come back to the center, breathing in. Pull the abdomen inside when you breathe. And finally, Udara Karshanam, which is done in sitting position, squatting. Once again, we'll do one more round. We'll take one glass of water. We'll do 2 rounds today, but normally we'll take one more glass and then do one more. Today we'll not take second glass. Okay, go to Shavas. Okay, yeah. That is right. Center. So do Anulom Vilom Pranayam. We'll do home meditation. want to explain to you three parts of Om: A, U, and Ma. A is for upper chest, Na is U for middle chest, and Ma is for the abdomen. When you produce sound, the abdomen should go inside. When you breathe out, when you say A, the upper chest should come down. When you say U, the middle chest should come down. When you say the abdomen should go. We'll do separately A, U, Ma. Take deep breath. Now we do combine. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वतरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वस्वबुद्धिमाप्नोतु सर्वसर्वत्र ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु ॐ सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु ॐ सर्वेषां भूतं भवतु ॐ सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति 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 So today we'll do the theory portion once again. The next unit in the course is Kundalini Yoga, but I want to skip it because this notes is meant for a 3-month course, not for 1-month course. 3-month course on yoga itself, not on Sanaatana. So we are having only 1 month in this program. So we will do only certain portions, not each and every portion. I will skip the Kundalini Yoga part. We will drop in our exam also to advance. And we will go to the other units. Bob Garu, please take note. We have dropped the Kundalini Yoga, which is unit 6 of course 1. Because this notes is meant for 3 months course. In fact, volume 2 we may drop, we'll see. Volume 1 only we are doing right now. We can cover volume 1 within this course by dropping certain topics. That's good enough for the examination. So yogasanas and physical education is a unit 7 in course 5. Exercise is not the usual reflex activity of the body which one has to undergo in one's daily life. It is the intentional, pre-planned, systematic scheme of bodily movements and manipulations practiced regularly for health and vitality. So exercise means it is not a natural process.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
Your voice is not clear, sir. It is not
Okay.
audible clearly.
Okay. How about now?
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm now reading and explaining unit 7 of course 5. Yogasanas and physical education. What is the difference or what is the connection? You might have seen in the schools and colleges, physical directors are there. They teach physical exercises, drills, drill masters, exercise masters, physical education teachers. So first we try to understand both physical exercise and asanas separately, and then we compare. Exercise is not usual reflex of the body. It is a pre-planned systematic scheme of bodily movements and manipulations practiced regularly for health and vitality. For an average man, exercise means a system of physical jerks. So normally exercise are jerky motions that are aimed to develop outer muscle group of the body. If you go to the gym or to other exercises in sports or athletics, what are your exercises they are teaching for the sports people and athletics? They are usually muscle-based jerky exercises. They are supposed to build up bumpy skeletal muscles. Plumpy, that is, they become fat. All the wrestlers and pilwans, they'll be very fat. Exercises with dumbbells and barbells, dumbbells, Malakamba, Kerala, Dandas, Vaitex come under this category. They are more for muscular development rather than organic and functional development of the body. And I hope you are understanding. So all these other exercises other than yoga, they are all meant for muscular build-up, for show. Yogasanas form the third limb of the eightfold Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana. They are meant to bring about harmony between body and mind. Asana, as its very name suggests, is a posture. It is not an exercise. But Sukshma Vyayama is an exercise. That is different. That is more like preparatory and overall rounding up of the body. But we are talking of asanas, which are only postures, positions. The body is accommodated to particular form and shape. Health is a byproduct of the asana practice. The partial benefit and physical activity involved in the accomplishment of asana practice gave rise to misconception that it is a form of physical exercise. So some people get confused thinking that yogasanas are physical exercises, which is not the case. They differ very much in different aspects. The aim of asanas practice is to improve the muscle tone, not muscle volume, and improve the muscle stamina, organic function. Apart from the muscle, there are organs. We have liver, pancreas, intestines, gallbladder, heart. So all these organs are being toned up, they are improved. Shakti Vikasak, in Sukran we say Uttara Shakti Vikasak, Vakshasthala Shakti Vikasak. Similarly, in asanas also, each asana acts on a particular organ or set of organs or a chakra. Nabhi Chakra Shuddhi, all the organs around the navel, liver, pancreas, intestines, chest, and then kidneys. We have seen people dying out of kidney failure. If they had a healthy kidney tone up asana practice, they would have landed in that situation. The aim of asana practice is to improve muscle tone, stamina, organic function, and calmness of mind. Mind is another difference. In normal exercises, there is no mind being considered as a subject. But in yogasanas, mind calmness is one of the objectives. They are called hygienic exercises compared to other types of non-hygienic exercises. So types of exercises are divided into two types, passive and active. Massage and manipulation of muscles by others come under passive type of exercise. Active exercises can be conveniently grouped under 6 sets. It's one exercise that improves strength of specific muscle groups like weightlifting, barbell, dumbbell, chest expander, club spring. Everybody is having nowadays a craze to have all these machines, and they are doing this exercise at home. I think some of you also may have some of these machines to do this exercise. An exercise, second category is exercise that improves stamina. This type involves less fatigue, more speed, and for longer duration, like brisk walking, skipping, running, cycling, swimming, breathing. So this is a separate category. Exercise that improves stamina as well as strength of some muscles are like wrestling, push-ups, and sit-ups. Exercise that promotes special skills like games and sports, tennis, hockey, squash, badminton, table tennis, basketball, cricket, baseball, volleyball, football, and rugby. They require some additional muscular strength. Exercises that improve the muscle tone, plasticity, and general fitness. Aerobics and some form of dancing and yoga asanas. Exercises that improve muscle tone, plasticity, stamina, some visceral functions, and balance of mental functions. That is the last category. Only in that category, we have yogasanas and pranayama only, and no other exercise. I'm not saying other exercises should not be practiced. Walking, brisk walking, swimming, they can be done at different times, either before yogasanas or preferably after yogasanas, morning, or in separately in the evening. Walking, running, swimming, that's separate. But we definitely will not recommend you to take up heavy weightlifting exercises because they will result in damage of the nervous system. Now there is a table given here, a statement that will bring out striking subtle variations between yogasanas and other physical exercises. The first, yogasanas are primarily aimed at improving to develop muscle tone. Its goal is to prepare the body fit for higher spiritual attainment, because the asana is the third step. We have the pranayama as the next, and then we have pratyahara, dharma, samadhi, which are meant for spiritual development of the person, not for muscular tone development. Whereas the aim of physical exercise is to develop a group of muscles. It does not care for mental development and least bothered for spiritual development. Second point is there is no scope for competition in practice. In yogasanas, though nowadays some people are conducting yogasana competitions and giving medals and all that, it is meaningless because there is no question of competition or record breaking or anything like that. The goal in yoga practice cannot be shown or demonstrated outside the body, because you cannot show some measure 5 feet, 6 feet, or 100 kg, 150 kg. You cannot show like that. Instead, the center of activity is developed within the body. And whereas most of the activities of games and sports are goal-oriented or goal-directed, and this goal is generally fixed outside the body. Competition is evident in the game and sports. Where competition is involved, there exists jealousy, enmity, etc. So we know how people who are involved in competition in sports and games are indulging in jealousy, enmity, and sometimes match fixing and corruption. Third point is, as the aim and objective of yogasana practice is different, the method of its performance is altogether different. The movements are slow, steady, and smooth. You cannot have jerky motions. To attain and to release any asana, to attain a particular posture and release it, be gradual, slow, smooth. The phase of maintenance of asana is more important than movements. Only few asanas are having movements, like Surya Namaskar has movements or Sukshrama has movement. But most of the asanas don't have any movement. They are static, like Padmasana is static pose. Slow movements require the involvement of deeper muscle also, which is not the case for physical exercises, which are performed in a fast and speedy manner, leading to exertion and fatigue. This is a very important point. If you perform any exercise, it will result in fatigue. You will be exhausted and you have to take rest. But in the yogasanas, it will not result in fatigue. You don't have to take rest after finishing yoga session now. It doesn't mean that you won't take rest for half an hour or 1 hour in your bed. It's not required. On the contrary, after finishing yoga session, you will become more energetic and more fit and more enthusiastic to do work, your own work, whatever be your work. And the fourth point is that the effect of asanas is more on the trunk part. Trunk involves the kidneys at the back, pancreas, liver, stomach, gallbladder, in different portions. So this portion is given maximum importance, back and front. The special patterns of the asanas when maintained produce pressure changes in the internal cavities of the visceral organs. What are the visceral organs? Pancreas, liver, gallbladder, intestines, kidneys. So what happens? The special patterns of asanas when maintained in that posture produce pressure changes in the internal cavities of the visceral organs, which influences the circulation of the abdominal circulation in the blood circulation in the different organs in the abdomen so that blood circulation changes and pressure, that makes all the difference. Nerve roots in the abdominal region are toned up and nerve roots are also toned up. Whereas in exercises, movement of extremities are more prominent than the exercise to the trunk. So most of the exercises are not for this region, either back or front. It is meant for hands, legs, or thighs or knees. The circulation is increased in the periphery. It is not inside. The movement in exercise are quick and rapid and may be of repetitive isotonic nature. That is, Sukshma is known as isotonic. There is a repetitive move. In asanas, there is no repetitiveness. Finally, the asana's spinal column is given the exercise in all possible directions. Twisting, turning, bending, forward, backward, all this happens on spinal cord. It is given forward, backward, lateral, and twisted to right and left in vertical axis. There is a counter movement for every movement of the spine in asanas. So when you do one twist, say to the left, you also do to the right. Similarly, when I showed you Sarvangasana, there is a bending of the neck in the L shape. So in the Matsyasana, the opposite happens. So the opposite is always done so that it neutralizes the strain, if any. Further, certain special types of asanas, mudras, bandhas are employed to raise Kundalini Shakti, which is said to develop the higher states of consciousness. Whereas, in the case of exercises, they don't care a damn about the systematic movement of the spinal cord. Only a particular movement is repeated several times, isometric, to develop strength and skill of some part of the body. Like in Sukshma, which is an isotonic exercise, that particular body toned up. The element of developing the consciousness is totally absent. Now, the difference between isotonic exercises and Sukshma, isotonic exercises are repeated. Some of the exercises in Sukshma are isotonic, like hands, legs, movements, but some of them are not isotonic. Some of them are actual asanas, and some of them are mudras and bandhas. Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha, Jalandhar bandha. So it is a unique product combination of the traditional classical yoga techniques of mudras, bandhas on one side, and the modern concepts of isotonic exercise on the other side, merged together by Maharshi Karthikeya. This is a new invention by him. Then sixth point is muscle building is not done in asanas. It serves no purpose, and energy requirement is also less in practice of asanas than in physical exercise. Asanas create no extra burden on the cardiorespiratory mechanism. Tensions are reduced at various times. Whereas in normal exercises, heavy muscular masses are built. These muscles are regarded as a sign of physical fitness and vigor. They get awards, Kesari Award and Mr. Hyderabad, Mr. Sikandrabad, like that. After a particular age, now in the youth, it's okay to do all that. But as person grows old, those developed muscles which are fat and thick, they act as parasites and sapping their energy, nutrition to other tissues. Because we have ashtadhatus, muscles, bones, marrow. So when the muscles become too big, they will start sapping out, squeezing out the strength from the other tissues, dhatus. They become loose and give an ugly shape to the body. So all the wrestlers in their old age, they become very, very sick and useless. They are not fit. Heavy muscular exercises increase the rate of cardiovascular system, putting undue strain. So this is another important point. Cardiovascular system means the heart mainly. It should not be put on too much strain. If you strain your heart too much, it will become weak and it will collapse one day. So heavy weightlifting and heavy cardiovascular exercises are not good. Whereas in the case of yogasanas, the other side is that they create no extra burden on the cardiorespiratory mechanisms. On the contrary, they strengthen them. Now, next point is skeletal muscles are passively stretched in yogasanas because this all bones and joints have the muscles that slowly stretch passively. Hence, a muscle tone cannot increase beyond a particular level. The muscle tensions, on the other hand, are reduced to a minimum. This helps to reduce strain on muscles and nerves. The passive stretch is extended up to the capsule and deep ligaments of joints, which stimulates blood circulation around them and ensures their health. So the passive stretch is extended up to the capsule and deep ligaments of the joints, which stimulates blood circulation and ensures their health. After the practice of yoga, one feels fresh. I'm sure you all know this. At the end of the yoga practice, you feel fresh. You don't feel exhausted and you want to go and sleep. And energetic with the sense of well-being. Sense of well-being. I asked the Nobel Prize winner of medicine, what is the main thing which they are missing? They said the sense of well-being is what is missing. So, in the normal health, like medical treatments, to achieve in exercises, there are heavy and sustained contractions and active stretching of the muscle against some graded resistance. They put weights and they'll ask you to stretch in the, I'm talking of the all these clubs and bars, exercise bars, and these voluntary efforts increase the tensions in the muscles and leads to painful sensations. When exercises are finished, one feels tired and needs to take rest. This is the case of normal exercise, gyms. As the voluntary, now 8th point is, as the voluntary efforts are withdrawn in the final stage of the asanas, the activity of motor cortex is gradually reduced or even withdrawn completely. There is no effort after reaching a particular asana. There is no effort for it. The lower brain centers are given free scope to observe and integrate various sensory impulses to maintain proper equilibrium. Whereas in the normal exercises, to achieve the expected goal, voluntary efforts are increased. In the case of yogasanas, the voluntary effort, the conscious effort is decreased or reduced. Whereas in the case of exercise, the voluntary efforts are increased. The activity of the motor cortex dominates the lower centers of the brain. 9th point, various yogasanas are developed to care each of the bodily systems. We have the digestive system, circulatory system, muscular system, skeletal system, excretory system, reproductive system, nervous system, endocrine system. All these systems are meant for caring them, to give them support. Endocrine glands and nervous system. Most of the problems come due to the endocrine gland improper functioning, nervous system improper function. Practice of yoga reduces tensions, emotions, strain and stress, and prepare the candidate concerned for calmness and quietness in all circumstances, the spiritual attitude. Whereas in the case of normal exercises, there is no such system of physical culture which looks after the body as a whole. Yeah, unfortunate thing in the modern science is that reductionism. Everything is broken into parts. Holistic approach is not there. The aspect of emotional control is not given proper care. As a result of which, many physical culturists suffer with many chronic disorders. Can you believe this? And the elements of digestive and nervous debility. So this is a very important point. All the physical culturists who are doing these gyms or teaching various types of cardio exercises or weightlifting or isometric, they themselves suffer all kinds of problems, nervous stability and breakdown, digestive elements as they grow older and older. One of our friends who was conducting a yoga center in the heart of Koti, full of pollution, he died. He had a heart attack, and he told me in the hospital also he was teaching yoga to others. I asked him, "Are they okay?" Because he himself is a heart patient. He is a yoga teacher supposed to be, and he is teaching the nurses in the hospital where he is admitted for heart treatment. So 10th point is that there are no age and sex restrictions in yoga. Asanas can be practiced even at the age of 90 under expert guidance. That is very important. On your own, you cannot do it. Further, certain asanas are recommended for pregnant women for better delivery. Further, even the sick can practice asanas to get rid of the problem. Whereas in the case of exercises or weightlifting and gym, all cannot practice exercise all the time. No therapeutic value is assigned to the exercise. If you do any of these exercises in the gym, whatever it is, weightlifting or cardio or cycling or whatever it is, there is no way you can cure any disease. Or even by judo or karate, you cannot cure any disease like say diabetes or asthma or nothing of that kind. There is no therapeutic dimension to exercise culture. Whereas in yoga, we have a therapeutic system altogether. The practice of asanas require 0.8 to 3.0 calories per minute. Very less calories. A normal person resting in bed requires 0.9 to 1 calorie. That means it is almost like resting stage. The physical exercise requires 2 to 14 calories minimum of energy. So accordingly, the person will eat more food. In yogasanas practice, breathing is kept as natural as possible. Then there is no retention of breath. Then in asanas, there is no retention. In Sukshama, we have some retention here and there. Further, breathing is clubbed with bending, ensuring coordination between body and mind. I always tell you, when you bend forward, you breathe in. When you bend backward, you breathe. When you bend backward, you breathe in. When you bend forward, you breathe out. In case of exercises, there is nothing like that. And even the athletes and sportsmen who do jogging, running, they open their mouth and which is of use, no use. You should breathe through nose, not through mouth. Most of the exercises are carried out with heavy and speed breathing, and that too opening the mouth. No rhythmic breathing is followed. Further, suspension of breathing is recommended for such sport items. The yogasana practice is started and closed with prayerful mood. We have good thoughts. We have just ended our session by blessing the whole globe. May everybody be happy. The positive vibes. And this element is totally missing in the exercise culture. And yoga recommends food regulation. Only sattvic diet is prescribed. I didn't tell you about food, but I'm telling you now, sattvic diet is required. You have to prevent oily, spicy, non-veg, alcohol kind of food. You should make sattvic diet as much as possible. 100% sattvic may not be possible, but at least 60, 70%, 80% sattvic food is compulsory. And chewing thoroughly while eating and drinking slowly water These are compulsory. And in the case of exercise culture, there is no food restriction. Further, high caloric food is recommended to build up muscle groups. They ask you to eat more and more non-veg and so on, which is not correct. And also they give some special capsules and so on to build muscles, which is all artificial and fake. So these are the main differences. To summarize, I would say yoga practice is more natural. It is towards natural circumstances, whereas the exercise gym culture is unnatural. And one simple point I'll tell in close today. Now, when you say you are doing exercise, let us say you are running or jogging or swimming, then you are taking more oxygen and taking out carbon dioxide due to the motion. Whereas in a gym, what is happening? In a gym, is there any air circulation? They use air conditioning. There is no air circulation because the gym will be located in the heart of the city. It will be in the middle of a big road, main road, and there is no way the fresh air will come there, and they don't want air circulation. They'll put air conditioning. Air conditioning means you can't breathe deeply. This short, the same air is being circulated. There is no exercise. When you do jogging, say in open air or in the ground, then you are breathing in a lot of oxygen. What are you breathing in a gym? Nothing. So it's a whole thing is a hoax, in my view. Of course, people may not like my views, but my view is my view. So whatever they are doing in the gym is a hoax, and it is causing more damage than benefit. So whereas yoga practice will be more natural, you are supposed to do good air circulation and more air oxygen intake. And I told you already how the muscle toning and the joints and the other factors will be taken care of much better in yoga practice. The simple reason is this yoga practice is coming for thousands of years with the rishis and yogis in the background who originated this, not I and me, my students or my teacher. Whereas the exercise culture is just a recent invention of some of the friends we have who think they are very intelligent and they do all wrong things. Like Gandhiji said, it is not a great thing to have so-called development by running fast in the wrong direction, opposite direction. I close it here. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you. Yes. Go ahead.
ప్రభు గారు నమస్కారం అండి, మల్లికార్జున మాట్లాడుతున్నాను.
Yeah,
ఈ
speak like this.
నాన్ వెజిటేరియన్ గురించి శాస్త్రం గాని వేదం గాని ఏం చెప్తుంది?
Yeah. So in the Yoga Shastra, there's a text called Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So he has given a list of prohibited food items. Okay. Kattu amla atyushna tikshna rukshavi aritashaka saumira sarshapa madhya matsyan ajadi mamsa dadhi takra kuttakola pinyaka hingulam ashan asunadhyam apathyamahu. He has given a big list of apathyas. So all non-vegetarian food is there very much. Of course, some vegetarian items are also there, which are prohibited. This is as far as Yoga Shastra is concerned. And in the Bhagavad Gita also, he has given Rajasic, Tamasic category, under which the non-vegetarian and spicy food comes. Alcohol. Alcohol is poison. If you take alcohol, you are destroying your liver with your own hands. With your own intention, you are destroying yourself. Alcohol is poison. Heart and liver are finished and nervous system. Non-vegetarian is not as bad as alcohol if taken in limited scale by certain people who already got used to it. But those who are not used to it, if they start taking, they are going to land in big trouble. Heart disease and all kinds of, because first of all, the fat will be there. The fat in non-vegetarian food is very high. Secondly, the diseases in that animal which is being killed, they will come into this man. Thirdly, depends on how the animal is killed. If the animal is killed under pain and duress, it generates chemical poisons, and those things this fellow will eat. Why do you have to do all this? Human body is meant for vegetarian food because the teeth and all are not meant for non-vegetarian food. Non-vegetarian animals are tiger, lion, they have different type of teeth. So they will eat non-vegetarian, not human beings and cows. So by giving a non-vegetarian food to cows, they created a new disease called mad cow disease. So the whole thing is madness. But of course, non-vegetarian food is taken by 80% of the population, but it is under certain conditions, under restricted way only. For example, if you go abroad, you'll see terrible way of eating. They eat everything on earth. The non-vegetarians of India are like saintly vegetarians in foreign countries. They eat only non-veg. There is no country in the world which eats vegetarian food except South India or some parts of North India. But most of the North Indians, at least half of the North Indian parts, are non-vegetarians. There are no vegetarians in the whole world except a few people in South India. This sad story, that's why so many diseases are coming. Vegetarian food is the best, even from the environment angle, because if you eat one plant, you can finish your meal, or say a few plants. Whereas an animal will eat thousands of plants, and that animal is killed for one meal for a human being. So it is destroying the earth. Because we cannot put an end to non-vegetarian food, but we should reduce. And particularly spicy food is rajasic food. Tamasic is alcohol. Yatayamam gatarasam uchishtavam chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Bhagavad Gita also says fermentation. What is alcohol? Fermentation. Okay, next question.
Namaste, sir.
నమస్తే ఒక్క నిమిషం అమ్మ, ఒక్క మాట అమ్మా. ఇది ఆయన చాలా క్లియర్ గా
sorry.
చెప్తున్నారు. ఆయన క్లియర్ గా చెప్తున్నారు. సార్, వేదంలో ఇది నాన్ వెజిటేరియన్ గురించి, జీవహింస గురించి, పెంచినవాడు, అమ్మినవారు, వండినవారు, వడ్డించినవారు అని 8 రకాలుగా చెప్పారు వేదంలో. సో నాన్ వెజిటేరియన్ జీవహింస అనేది పూర్తిగా వేదంలో చేయకూడదని చెప్పింది అని విన్నాను సార్ నేను. అదొక్కసారి మీరు క్లారిఫై చేశారు. వేదం అంటే ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో పెద్ద పెద్ద వాళ్ళు, పేర్లు చెప్పకుండా పండితులైన వాళ్ళు, పీఠాధిపతులు జీవహింస చేయొచ్చు, జంతు బలి చేయొచ్చు, నాన్ వెజిటేరియన్ తినొచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నారు. సో దట్స్ గివింగ్ మీ టోటలీ రాంగ్ మైండ్.
No, I am talking purely from the yoga point of view and health point. I'm not here to raise controversies. So I don't want to comment on anybody. But Bhagavad Gita is very clear. And in Ayurveda, they have referred to all kinds of animal meats which people were eating. And accordingly, they have given some recommendations. But that doesn't mean that they ask you to eat. Non-vegetarian food has been prevalent, but depends on who and what circumstances. So for the sattvic diet, non-vegetarian food is definitely not acceptable. So we will categorize sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So sattvic food is recommended in yoga. It's not compulsorily implemented. So I don't want to get into controversial issues. Of course, in the yajnas, some of the people say that the animals were sacrificed. But some people say that, the Arya Samaj and other Vedic scholars say that that is only a false interpretation. You should have only some kind of powder-based something like that. So I don't want to get into issues which are not related to yoga. So in this context, this is a yoga course. So definitely non-vegetarian food is not a healthy sign, because I gave you 2-3 strong reasons. One strong reason is fat. Too much fat is there in non-vegetarian food. That will come into your body. Second, of course, if you say milk is non-vegetarian, then milk is permitted in yoga. It is encouraged. It is cow milk is the best food. So some people say honey is also non-vegetarian. Honey is encouraged. We are talking of animal killing and eating animal meats, so which is not encouraged in yoga shastras. And though we know that 90% of the population takes non-vegetarian food and it cannot be stopped, we know that. But from the sattvic diet point of view, from yoga point of view, fat is one thing. Second thing is the diseases in the animal will come into this manner. Infections. Now, in fact, some of these diseases like COVID and all, it came from China through eating meat of bats and all nonsensical things. Chinese eat all kinds of animals. Some people in Africa eat human beings also, cannibals. And even in Europe, they are cannibals. Russia also, some cannibals are there. We are not going to support all those things. And the third item is that the poisons created while killing the animal. So those things will come into your body. Why do you have to take? Is it necessary to do all this? Why can't you eat simple common vegetarian? Okay, next question.
Namaskaram andi.
Yes.
Yesterday you said that meditation without asanas is not good. So asanas, does it mean only the even the breath control asanas, pranayama, etc. They are sufficient, or you have to do the other stula vyayama also?
Yeah. So what is the question? Specific?
The question is that you said meditation, only meditation is not good, and it should have asanas also. So asanas mean even the breath control comes under that same asana, or you have to do
pranayama.
Yeah.
No. Asanas and pranayama are compulsory prerequisites for any meditation. In my view, in according to Shastra. According to Yoga Shastra, asana pranayama are prerequisites for dharana, jhana, samadhi, without which it is not possible to get it. So in the name of meditation, they are teaching all kinds of things. Subconscious mind, hypnotism, everything is being taught.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Namaste, sir. Radhika here.
Yes. What?
1 minute.
Namaste, sir.
Yeah.
I am actually a yoga practitioner and a yoga teacher. And the point you outlined between the physical exercise that is happening in the gyms versus yoga, it's been a very challenging experience to me as a yoga teacher. I mean, the knowledge we have learned, this is all, very valuable. And it is so hard to convince people to get into this yoga practice and, keep them motivated. So as an experienced person, if you could share some of your, ideas or thoughts for us to, take yoga to the next level. I mean, we are trying our best, but it's still like not very convincing to the crowd as gyms are offering, like, them the physical activity. They seem to get bored with yoga after quite some time. So if you could throw some, your experiences to us, and how can we encourage the youngsters and the crowd to take up yoga as a for well-being?
Yeah, good question. Now, it's a very important point you have raised. So let me try to answer that as much as possible to me. See, the first point is, what do you want to achieve? You have to tell this. What is that you are trying to achieve? Now, can anybody say, whether you youth or anybody, that we don't want to be healthy?
No.
So everybody wants to be healthy. Now, can they get that help from gym? Is it possible for them to get help from gym? It is like saying, I get help from medicines. Now, is there any medicine which says that it will make you healthy? The medicine is meant for addressing a particular problem. There is no medicine available which is meant for improving health in general. So, can any gym give any proof of having treated any disease or cured any problem or given health to anybody? Tell me this. It's impossible. They don't know anything. They are just making money by, in a business manner, by using all kinds of tricks and
Very
using
true,
all kinds of, all kinds of machines. There is no science behind it. And the Yoga Shastra is a great science. Once people understand the Yoga Shastra, like what we are trying to, you already know, then there's no comparison. It is Asman Jamin ka farak hai. It is, they are nowhere. They are just fooling people, and they are spoiling health, not giving health. Okay, next.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, somebody, Radhika.
Just now she finished, sir.
I'm done, sir. It was me.
Who is
Rishi
next?
Babu.
Yeah.
Rishi Babu.
Yeah, I just finished. I mean, I asked my question.
Okay, then everybody's finished. Very good.
Okay, then if there are no more questions.
Actually, I wanted to ask actually.
Yes.
There is a wrong impression about that there is somewhere go bhakshan. This word has come in Veda and some yoga practice and so on. I heard that actually go word has various meanings. So one of the meaning is the tongue. So actually, in a yoga practice, this tongue is made opposite. I mean, it goes to touches this nostril opening, and it's called Khechuri Mudra. And that is sometimes called Go Bhakshan. Not actually physical cow.
It is all nonsensical. Go bhakshan. If somebody is telling that it is recommended to eat cows, it is a complete bogus nonsense. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. You go by the Shastra. You see, let us not get into the Veda level at all. Let us go by Shastras. So Shastras are very explicit. In fact, even goat, Ajadi Mamsa, he has clearly told Ateva Pradipika, it is prohibited for yoga practice. All meats, let alone Gohatya is supposed to be one of the greatest sins. It is like killing a Brahmana or killing a woman, killing a man. Gohatya is a great sin. Without Hatya, how will you get Gomamsa? It's all nonsense people talk, but we go by the Shastras, not by the rubbish people talk in the social media. Okay, I think one more hand is raised. Yeah.
It's me, sir. Not a question. Just wanted to inform Babu Garu, sir. I won't be attending the class tomorrow and Monday. I'm traveling, so please excuse me.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
send you a
if there are
note.
no,
I'll send you a personal note also.
if there are no other questions, let us.
సార్ ఇంకొకసారి అడగచ్చా నేను మళ్ళీ మీరు చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు అయినా టైం కూడా అయిపోయింది. శాస్త్రాలు ఏం చెప్పాయో చాలా క్లియర్ గా ఉంది సార్ మీరు చెప్పింది. వేదం ప్రామాణికంగా ఏమన్నా చెప్పిందా నాన్ వెజిటేరియన్ గురించి?
Let us not get into that. ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే
నేను అర్థం చేసుకోవడం కోసం అది వివాదం కాదు.
It is not possible. It is not possible to understand Vedas. It is like గుడ్డివాడు ఏదో వెతికినట్టుగా సూది వెతికినట్టుగా ఉంటుంది. వేదం అనేది కేవలము it is meant for chanting. Any attempts to interpret Veda are completely fake, because Veda has multiple complicated issues. Every word has many meanings and many contexts, and it is apaurishaya, and so many issues are there. I'll discuss separately about Veda and meaning. Keep aside Veda, go by the Shastras, everything is clear.
Okay, that's clear to me. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. If there are no other questions, let us close by doing Janaganamana. Rishi Babu Garu.
Right. जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे